Hi, it's Tracy from Two Rocks Tarot, and yes, I haven't been around for a while, and there is a good reason for that. So, as you all know, I got diagnosed with breast cancer 2 years ago, and in the last couple of weeks, I found out that they didn't get it all. I underwent 2 lymph node biopsies, and they both came back negative. So how it started was, as now I have to see, you can probably see there's a lump right there. I had a couple there. I did go May last year and had an ultrasound, and they were pretty sure that it wasn't cancer. So that's what they told me, the doctor. I just went into emergency. And then the next time this year I went and saw my oncologist, and I said, look, it's still there. So he sent me for an ultrasound, and he said, yeah, they are raised. I'll put you in for another ultrasound in a couple of weeks to see if they're still growing, and they were. So then he ordered me to get a fine needle biopsy, which is just, they just put local anaesthetic in your neck and do that. That come back as negative, and then he ordered another ultrasound to make sure that they weren't still growing, just to be careful, and they were. So this time I had to go under the knife and have one removed. Again, it come back negative, but he also made sure that he sent me for a PET scan and a CT scan, and the cancer showed up in my lymph nodes. So as you can see, my neck is very swollen, still swollen here, a little bit here. The reason why I've got this shocking rash is the medication that I'm on now, because he had to change the medication. So basically what happened, they didn't get all the cancer. It's come back, it's in my lymph nodes. I'm terminal now, which sounds really awful, doesn't it? But the good news is that it's just in my lymph nodes in my neck, and I've got some in my groin area. It hasn't spread to my major organs. My bones are good, so all of my other major, my lungs, everything else are fine. It's just in the lymph nodes. So what he's doing is, I was having transfusions, so the cancer doesn't come back with some Zolic acid. I was taking my letrozole to stop my hormones reproducing, because my cancer was hormone produced. And it didn't work. So he's got me on these monthly injections, and so for the first month I've got to have, I think, 4 every 15 days, and then after that it's just once a month. The doctor has to do it because it's kind of like a 5-minute, very slow injection that I have to get in my butt, in the muscle in my bum. And then I'm taking these other type of tablets that I've got to take Monday to Friday. And luckily for Medicare, because the needles cost $300 each, and the tablets cost $4,292, but I only have to pay $30. So that is, I'm so grateful for that. So what the treatment is now is basically to stop it from spreading, so it doesn't go anywhere else. That's all that he can do. He was going to try and get me into a medical clinical trial, but he couldn't find anything. And so I did say to them that he'd just find something, later on down the track. Just book me in, don't even bother me ringing me. So the chemo didn't get it all, the radiation didn't get it all, fucker was still in my lymph nodes. So, so you can see, so the rash is actually, he did tell me that I'll get that from the tablets that I have to take now. You can have that was one of the side effects in being tired. So what I do is I've swapped it now, and I take that one at night time, and I sleep like a baby, which is really, really good. I'm also doing some complementary type of medicine with Nat from Sanskrit Blue. We're doing some feeding your demons work, which is really amazing. So I'm doing that as well. This method of feeding your demons, I think she said it was her boss that what she done it? It was some lady who come up with the idea, and she did it on a friend who had AIDS in the 90s, and he lived a decade longer, which is freaking amazing, because once you got AIDS back then, it was a death sentence, you died. So, I'm not giving up. I said that to my oncologist. The worst case scenario is that I've got 1 to 2 years to live. The best case is that I've got years and years. It's how my body responds to the medication. So I told him that I'm going for the latter. I'm not giving up. I just can't see me dying in 1 to 2 years' time, because if it was my time to die, why didn't I die of septic poisoning after I had my mastectomy? That's my sort of line of thinking. I think there's still something that I need to do. And so the reason I made this video is for you ladies out there, that if you notice any lumps, because I kept saying I had lumps and it's in the clavicle area. Kept saying that, and they sort of poo-pooed me. And it was only when I said to my oncologist, look, it's still swollen. And then he said, oh yeah, he said, since that's the side that your cancer's on, let's get it investigated. And then he found it. So he was really quite upset with it, because when I had the first ultrasound back in May last year, I told them to send them the results, and they said that it wasn't swollen. He said, well, it's obviously bloody swollen. Have a look at it. So, who knows? But apparently it's slow growing as well. So we're hoping that this medication will nip it in the bud, because he said eventually down the track, the medication might stop working, and then you have to go on a different type of medication. So, yeah, so that's where it stands at the moment. So I've just realised I usually move Aaron's chair when I do videos, but that's the reason why I've been quiet. So I'm not doing any tarot readings. I've put my business on holiday mode just to get my head around things. I've also not reading for my online company as well. He said I can come and go when I want. He's really, really good. So I will start again, but I just think that I need some time to process it. So I don't feel depressed. I don't feel why me. I made this purely for other ladies out there, that if you find any tiny, any little lumps in your neck, you can see, this bloody mirror image, hey, see how that's my gland. That was actually out like that. That was like, I don't know, for those of you old enough to remember the mumps when it used to be really swollen. I do, because I had the mumps when I was a kid. That's how bad it was, and it sort of come up after they'd done the fine needle biopsy. I don't know if you can see, and I've got a lovely big lump here. It's kind of come a little bit red, but I've got a feeling it actually feels slightly smaller. He did say to me, my oncologist, as I go on with the treatment, that'll go down. But he said if I'm in pain, and I'm not, because he said he can always get some radiotherapy on it to shrink it down later on down the track. So we'll see how we go. But it has come down. But as you can see, I look like a bit of a mess. And that's why I made this video, because really I just wanted to let our ladies who've been through breast cancer to really be diligent, and to really just any type of lump, particularly in the neck area and stuff like that, for God's sake, just, keep on them and get it checked. So the hardest thing to do, of course, was tell my daughter, and she just got married on the 4th of March. But she's strong. My stepchildren were a mess. They were crying everywhere. My daughter, she won't cry in front of me. She said to me that you're strong, Mum. It's exactly what my dad said. It was really hard to tell my dad, because he's 91. We're planning on going in September, so I can spend a couple of weeks with him again. And but he said to me, you sound really positive and you're strong. And I said, well, I get that from you, because he was Mum's carer for 3 years, doing absolutely everything for cook, washing, just everything that a personal carer would do, he did for Mum. So I'm pretty stubborn, and that will be the only thing that I will agree to, is to being an Aries, is the horns. I'm locking horns with this cancer, and it can fuck right off out of my body. If it has to stay there, it stays there, but it's not spreading, My goal is to stop it from spreading and put it permanently in remission. I want to live for years and years. I'm only 57. I just turned 57. I had the operation a day before my birthday, and everyone was wishing me happy birthday. So, I didn't even cry. My husband is absolutely fucking devastated, and this is what I worry the most about, not really myself, but when my time does eventually come is that I'm leaving him behind, and we're soulmates. We are really, really close. My kids will be fine because I brought them up to be tough, and this is what happens. And at least I got to see him grow up, and I saw her get married and everything like that. So, that's really, really good. But, I've had a lot longer than what some other people have had, put it that way, But I'm really determined to stick around. As for my channel, if I feel like doing a video, I'll do a video. But right now, I'm just sort of concentrating on me, taking each day as it comes and as a gift that it is. And so going from sort of a little bit despondent, I am angry now. Like, I'm angry. And Natalie said from Sanskrit, you hold on to that anger. And it's true. You have to go with all your emotions. I don't think the why me bullshit, because, it just happens, you got to die sometime of something, isn't it? And it looks like cancer's going to kill me in the end. But by God, it's not going to kill me for many, many, many years. I'll tell you that much. I'm really determined to stick around here for a long, long time. My goal is to live to 100. That's what I want to do. I want to live to 100 at least, or a little bit past it. So that's what's been happening with me. It's pissed me off. All that shit that you go through to beat it, and it still lingers around. It doesn't matter, I also found out I was stage 3 apparently, and not stage 2 like I thought I was. So that was a bit of a miscommunication, because I'm positive my breast surgeon said I was stage 2, but I was stage 3 apparently. So I think now when it's metastasizes, it has you are classed as stage 4 and terminal, but it's something, and I know a lot of women who were stage 4 straight away have managed to live for many, many more years, and I'm hoping that's exactly I'm not hoping, I'm just going to do it. Okay, I'm just going to do it. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm working with Natalie. I'm going to do some sort of research on some crystals that I can work with to help me heal. I've just got to figure out how to do it, because I've got cats that are into everything, a dog that pinches anything, so I've got to figure out where I can do it, that I can sit in relatively peace and let the crystals sort of heal me. So I have got a crystal grid on my altar, which is that way up, and but that was to stop it from coming back, and it didn't work obviously. So now it's to stop it from spreading. So I'm going to do a bit of research on that. Again, any of you who want to pray or send me healing energies, bring it on. I'm all for it. I'm all for it, but I'm going to remain positive. I'm determined to not let this freaking disease beat me. I really, really am. But I just thought I'd be honest with everybody out there. I do like YouTube, but I just can't. I just haven't got the energy to do it right now. I need to get things in order, sort of thing. So make a will, for one thing. We haven't even made a will, so I don't want to make a will. So I've got to do that sort of stuff as well, which sounds really awful. But, I'm a big believer in the afterlife. You all know that. You all know that I communicate with spirits. I felt my mother with me, and I don't even know who the other spirit was when I was sitting in hospital waiting to get this second operation. I've been filming my cats the other day, and there was like 3 orbs that just... I was filming and I could see the orbs go past in the screen, but you couldn't see it, when you look out and about. I've seen my cat, Blackie, my beautiful cat. She's probably about half a dozen times before I found out my diagnosis, and now she's sort of disappeared again. So Oscar's, I didn't find any of his fur this time. So I'm sort of taking that as a good sign, So I'm still, really spiritual and everything like that. And I know there's nothing to be scared of when I die, but I worry about who I leave behind. That's the biggest worry, isn't it, really, when you're having to think these thoughts. But anyway, hopefully it's not for many, many years. But, my Aaron was getting a little bit annoyed and angry at me when I was saying, because, this my ring that he gave me, and who do you want that to go to? And he said, shut up, I don't want to talk about it. But, you have to. You can't not talk about it. You've got to do these things. And I want to do it while I'm still got my marbles, I'm really not planning on dying anytime soon, but the shit's going to happen, and I want everything to be organised and taken care of so he doesn't have to worry about anything. And that's all it is. So I still have to go through my mother's jewellery and just give it to my daughter. So, I've got all these things to do. But, I've just got to get my mind around things. I don't feel... It's funny, you think you'd feel depressed, wouldn't you, when you get this sort of a diagnosis. But I had my first session with Natalie last Sunday. I have to think of the time difference. It was Monday for her, but Sunday for me. And the feeling after it was one of hope. It felt very, very hopeful. And we have got a very strong psychic bond, her and I. And I can really feel like this is going to work. So I have to work on myself. So I can't see myself doing any videos, but who knows, maybe I feel like shooting one day and I will. But right now I'm just going to concentrate on myself and my family, and I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I'm very open to anybody who wants to send me any healing energy or prayers like it did before. It really, really worked. And I have to say, Lisa from Keratin's Cauldron, when I had to have my mastectomy, I was really scared of going under anaesthetic, and she did this lovely spell for me, and I wasn't scared at all. And it was the same when I went under for my biopsy on my neck to go under anaesthetic. I just hopped on the bench myself, laid down. I couldn't care less. So that's obviously a long-term spell, that one. So that's really good. So I'll leave it there, and I'll thank you already, because I know every one of you, who watch this is going to give me their love and prayers and everything, and I really, really appreciate it. So until next time, this is Tracy signing off, and we'll just leave it at that, I think. Take care, everyone. Don't